Good afternoon, my darlings. It is Saturday, 17th of August. Gosh, hasn't this month gone by fast? Not too quickly though, because today, my darlings, I bring you plague, viruses, pandemics, diseases, all those kind of novels. Yes. If you're going to drop dead from it, I have probably read it. Let's start. So many things to kill us, and so little time to enjoy them all. Let's go on an apocalyptic journey to the depths of hell. Let's have a lot of fun along the way, shall we, my darlings? In no particular order, these are some of my favourite ways that we will meet our demise. Some are fantastical fantasies, some are more realistic in their very savage nature. No matter if it's our demise or something else that you look forward to. I hope these little beauties pique your interest. The first one we're going to cover is the Deadly Messiah. Yep, this is by David Campbell and Albert Fay Hill. And it is an absolute blinder. If you ever wondered what it would look like to die from dysentery and heart failure, or spots, or tooth decay, or the common cold, woohoo! This book is for you, my lovelies. We follow Dr. Bob Barrett, who was only in it for a very, very short period. He's the poor gentleman that dies of dysentery and heart failure. And his brother, Dr. Jess Barrett, who actually amazingly survives. And he goes on a death-defying, edge-of-your-seat chase all across America to find the deadly Messiah, who is quite the dude. Yes, if you want to be transported back to 1970s New York in all its dirty, grimy gorgeousness, then this is the book for you, my loves. Oh yes. I've done quite a in-depth review of this, but it was first published January the 1st, 1976. And this edition here, it may still be available, was from 1978. And just the artwork alone, isn't it sublime? Absolutely gorgeous. So yes, the Deadly Messiah. Don't miss it. At your peril. The War of the Worlds. That is my second choice. Published by William Heinemann in 1897 in Pearson's Magazine. This edition is from 2017 by William Collins. As they say, the chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, they said. Something as small as bacteria proved to be the Martians' undoing and our salvation. Absolute classic. Don't miss it. One of my absolute favourites now, my loves. James Herbert, The Fog. First published January the 1st, 1975 by New English Library. This edition is from 1980, again by New English Library. The peaceful, sleepy village of Wiltshire is about to be torn in half. Indeed. and a deadly fog is set loose. John Holman and his girlfriend Casey, Christine, are about to find out that there can be something worse, some worse things, should I say, than death. What could be worse than death? Still got a cold. Who caused the fog? Why is it here? And how can we stop it before it's too late for the United Kingdom? Too late for England! We are all asunder! Where did the fog come from? Where did my cough come from? Good question. Yes, do not miss this. At your peril, my darlings. That is an absolute classic and a beauty. Wow. This is an oldie, but a goodie. The Death of Grass. First published January the 1st, 1956 by Michael Joseph of London, of which this is a first edition from the first run of the John Christopher collection, the private collection of Sam Ewald. How did I get this beauty? It was at a very private auction, and my husband bought it for me. It's very old, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and I've wrapped it because the paper is so thin. And we have slight foxing, but not too bad. John Custance plays down the creeping, crawling plague of the Chung-Li virus, the grass-eating parasite. He says to his brother David, it will never come to England. Oh, how he wished he had listened to his brother. John will pay the ultimate price, and the Custance family will never be the same again. Absolute classic, my darlings, and I have done a full review of that too. Now this one's an absolute banger. The Sheep Look Up by John Brunner. First published in August the 1st, 1972, first edition Harper and Row. That's what this is, first edition. Quite the find. And again, my husband, private auction. But I'm very pleased with it. What can I say? In a very handy monthly instalments, we follow the demise of mankind in a very tongue-in-cheek way. The Nightmare Society. Our air is polluted, so much so that gas masks are commonplace. They surely are. Infant mortality is up, and almost everybody on the planet seems to suffer from some kind of ailment. John, it seems, had a telephone to the future. Oh, he did. And his finger on the pulse of humanity. Absolute banger, absolute classic. The president is scarily like Donald Trump. If you read this book, you will know. If you haven't, please do. Absolute classic. Absolute classic. One of my another favourite. The Rats by James Herbert. First published January the 1st, 1974, and this edition is from July of 1976. So it's 48 years old, same age as me. By New English Library. Harris is an art teacher, and his first encounter with the rats was when his student Kyo was bitten on his way to 24 hours later, Keo is dead from the apparent rat bite. What is in the rats? Where did they come from? And how can we stop them? How indeed, my darlings. It is the first of a trilogy. We follow Harris as he tries to eradicate London of the deadly plague. The rats, no one is safe. No, they're not. Oh, it is such a delicious novel. I would recommend it, definitely, wholeheartedly. Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. First published August the 26th, 2014. This edition is from 2015 by Picador Pan Macmillan. Part of the Random House. What was lost in the collapse? Almost everything. Almost everyone. But there is still such beauty. If civilization was lost, totally lost, kaput, finito, what would you do to preserve it? What parts of our humanity would you save and why? And that's what this book discusses. It's it's absolutely gorgeous in its way that it describes our downfall. It's almost dreamlike quality. A poetic last stand of mankind. The Virus by Stanley Johnson. First released on June the 1st, 1984 as The Marburg Virus. This edition from January the 1st, 2020 by Black Spring. Dr. Lowell Kaplan. Remember that name. First meets the young 19-year-old student who had been spending the summer in Europe, in Brussels, when she became unusually ill, and she flew home, and within days, a matter of days, dies from a mystery illness. Her last words were green monkeys. Then, say she dies. Dr. Lowell Kaplan and his team must find a cure for the deadly monkey virus before mankind is wiped from the face of the earth. Not only must he find a cure, but will he live long enough to do it? Because I can honestly say this shouldn't be known as a blockbuster. It should be known as a bonkbuster because there's that much sex going on inside. I'm surprised they found time to have it while they're busy looking for a cure. But he squeezes it in. What a guy. Absolutely fantastic novel. If the virus doesn't get him first, will the government? Let's find out. Do give it a read. It is fantastic. This one's just too funny for words. Apocalypse Cow. Yes. By Michael Logan. First published in 2012 by Doubleday. This paperback edition is from 2013. And who did this? Who published this one? Corgi Books. Yeah, this is from Corgi Books. As the saying goes, forget the curd, they want blood. Oh yes. How a comedy of errors, forgetfulness, and downright idleness created the kamikaze squirrels, the cows from hell, and the kittens of anarchy. Absolutely. That's right. The UK is under attack from all animals of all kinds. Don't forget to pack your matching Louis Vuitton luggage while you're being rescued by the army when they come to evacuate you. Just don't bring the goldfish. Destined, I feel, this one to become an absolute classic. The Zoo by James Patterson and Michael Ledwidge. First published September the 3rd, 2012 by Arrow Books. And this edition is from 2013 by Arrow Books. And it's a first edition paperback. We are in the middle of a global meltdown. Animals are waging war on mankind. Savage attacks are spreading across the globe as I write. Every single animal on the planet is a potential threat. We are all in danger. The world has become a zoo without cages. What is causing this? Can we stop it before it's too late? Absolute banger of a book. It's an absolute classic. The most savage animal attacks are in here, and there is no rhyme or reason as to why this is happening. It's as though the planet has had enough of mankind and is doing its very best to eradicate the world of us. And we've only a very short window of time to stop the onslaught of mankind. It is brilliant. It is. And last but not least, the ringworm virus. First published in 1976 by Millington Books Limited. This edition in 1979 by New English Library. New English Library seem to pick up quite a lot of little gems like this, and it is a little gem. A British family on holiday in Australia suddenly finds itself prey to a mysterious illness. At first it was diagnosed as the flu, but within weeks all of them were to die. It is at this point that the existence of a new, utterly lethal virus was confirmed, one of which the human race has no resistance to. Will mankind survive? Will we survive the nightmare? A handful of us will, and we will lay testament to the viciousness and savagery of this disease, the ringworm virus. It is deadly, and it is absolutely heartbreaking what happens to us as a human race. No country is spared. Again, like Station 11, we're so close to being eliminated. And it's not just humans, it's animals as well. I love these type of novels. I really do. Some of them are fantastical. Some of them are fantasy and will only ever be fantasy. And some are so chillingly close to reality that it is stuff that nightmares are made of. We are perhaps on the precipice of maybe another deadly pandemic. Or maybe not. We really don't know at the moment. One thing that we must be aware of is the fragility of mankind. We are not invincible. We'd like to think we are. But if something as small as a micron of bacteria can destroy the Martians, what can it do to us? You know. Animals go on the rampage. A deadly disease has taken over their minds and made them into a hive mind. And their prey is us. We are not the master race. We are not the be and end all of this planet. Many animals, creatures, plant forms, dinosaurs have come before us and gone and left only behind their fossils. We are no different. There is nothing about mankind that makes us different. Sure, we can come up with wonderful vaccines and wonderful things that can get rid of potential harmful diseases, but we can't outrun everything. One day, something will come that will be so powerful and so quick that all that will be left of us are the things that are around us, our cars, our houses, clothing, photographs, videos, YouTube podcasts. That'll be all that's left. The virus will be swift, it will be sure, and it will get the lot of us. And there is nothing we can do about it. I'd like to think I was wrong, but one day it will be our turn to be on the extinct pile. And the Earth will continue. She'll do her thing. And whatever comes after us, I wonder what it would be. Wouldn't that be interesting to find out? Except we won't live long enough to do so. I've had COVID twice now. Each time was absolutely unbearable and made me very, very poorly. And yet I did survive it. However, if we end up with disease X, who knows? 1% of us survive? 2%? Maybe none of us. I don't know. But I'd like to think that these darling books might give you a little bit food for thought. And if anything, it will just while away a few hours on an adventure of a lifetime. Would it not? They are so much fun. And the artwork just amazing. That's what I love about a good book. I always feel that the artwork is just as important as the story. Absolutely glorious. I love them all. There we are. These are just a few of my collection. Good grief, you should see my library. I do love a deadly pandemic, a lethal virus, the plague, the cough and cold and sniffles, COVID be damned. Excuse me, I'm still getting over it. Yeah, I would honestly say, crib notes, I would honestly say, the one that will come and claim us all, we haven't had it yet, but it will get us one day. Might not do it in my lifetime, but it will happen. And until then, my darlings, enjoy your pandemic novels, your virus, your lethal, awful, deadly, darling books. Yes, enjoy them all and have fun. And remember, they're only stories. Take care, my darlings. See you later.